Hello everyone, and welcome to the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. So then it is of course the finale of the F1 League Season 4, and we are here in Abu Dhabi, and yeah, it's just not one of my favourite tracks, but my pace is actually looking reasonably good, surprisingly, so I was hoping to get a solid result here. We are in a championship battle with Sinan, but after his DNF in Brazil, I think I'm about 5 points ahead, so unless I have a disaster, we should have him covered. And yeah, so I was pretty strong in the first sector, but in the last sector I wasn't so good. So yeah, almost matching the Silent Mole's time there through sector 1 as we now head down the first DRS straight of 2 here. And not much to talk about apart from the fact that I can announce for Season 5 I'll be remaining in the Haas car. But I'll finally have a teammate because I didn't really have one for the entirety of the season, and I'll be teammates with Sam for Season 5, so that should be good. Obviously he's very quick as well, and we should be hoping to challenge for the Constructors, although it won't be easy due to the fact that Casey and Luke, as usual, are teammates, so this time in the Red Bull. So we'll give it our best shot, but I don't think it'll be easy for us as we now head into the final sector, nailing the braking point once again, avoiding chucking the car to Narnia off the curbs, and we've navigated those corners quite well. We're about a tenth off Luke's time, but obviously this is my weakest sector now as we head into the last sector, breaking down into this difficult right-hander, very lock up, and we've run a bit wide on the curb. That will lose us some time as we head through the final few corners now for our final corner lap of the season. And yeah, we've nailed that reasonably nicely as we come towards the penultimate corner now. Fourth gear through here, clipping the apex, running wide on the exit curb as we come to the final corner, down to second, straight back up to third, straightening the car out as early as possible, straight line towards the line, and we've done a 1 minute 39.5, I believe, which was enough for third on the grid. And HL Cupid got pole, even though when Luke, me and Casey were watching it, it didn't seem like a particularly good lap. But yeah, he's managed to nail pole there, just over Luke, and then myself in third, which means the championship battle, which isn't really a battle between Cupid and Casey, is now even more difficult for Casey due to the fact that Cupid got 3 quality points and Casey got none. But looking at the strategy there, it was super soft. We shouldn't have too many issues with that due to the tyre glitch, which will thankfully be fixed for next season. So this is the last video. You will see where the tyre glitch is existing. So starting the formation lap now. Let's go. For the final time this season, we have a formation lap. And yeah, Cupid decides that he doesn't want to move off the grid at first, but hopefully we'll have no issues as we head through here. So just preparing myself for the race. Sinan wasn't particularly high in qualifying, so I was pretty confident that I would have him covered in the championship, to be honest, although you never know what could happen. I'll probably disconnect, knowing my luck in recent times. But yeah, recently my connection's been okay, so I was just hoping to have a nice battle, and with Cupid's lack of practice, I was thinking maybe I could get involved for the win, but Camundo's decided to dive bomb me on the formation lap and he's hit me there, so I'm probably going to get kicked off. So, yep, cheers for that one. Not particularly clever, but whatever. We'll roll with it. It means we do get a slight advantage on tyre wears. We now have the lights. It's 5 lights, and it's WAG 1, and away we dank for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix then. We've got a reasonable start, actually, better than the Silent Mole, but I don't want to be going side by side with him. I'm just going to let him have their position there, leave him lots of space. Cupid's decided to visit Qatar on the exit of turn 1 as we come to the third corner now. Cupid's lagging a bit. Is Luke going to be able to hang it around the outside? I think he will. And yeah, I'm not sure if he went off track there, but I can't be asked to have another look. Camundo having a dive up the inside. Can he make it stick? We're going to go side by side through turn number 5 towards the hairpin now. We're going to have to give him the room. We're going to try and take a wide line to give us momentum on the exit. He's got the position at the moment, but he's going to have a really poor exit as we now head down the first DRS straight. Obviously no DRS yet, as it's only lap 1 as we head towards the chicane. Camundo's pulling ahead. I think he's picking up a bit of a slipstream from Cupid, so we're going to have to be really confident on the brakes if we want to stick with him into the chicane. We've been very late on the brakes. We're going to hang it around the outside then with some great racing as we head through the chicane. We can't squeeze him out because he's still side by side, and now Sinan's come out of nowhere, and he's going to make it 3 wide as we head down the second straight. Can we get it done nicely? And no, Camundo's hit us there. He's hit us on the straight. We're very lucky that didn't cause us to fly into Sinan. We're going to back out into the chicane. Camundo and Sinan can go side by side and hopefully crash, but no. Camundo squeezed out Sinan, but he thinks he can cut the corner, which he's done. He's trying to go back past Camundo then, but he's failed. So now we need to try and take advantage of his poor line through this corner, and can we boss him into the next corner? Not a normal overtaking spot, but he's got caught up on that curve as well, trying to go side by side. So we're going to try and go around that outside into this difficult right-hander. Can we hold it around the outside? No, he's still there as we head into this left-hander. I'm going to have to leave him the room on the exit. but we need to make sure that he can't get past us with this traction control and put him on the curb there, and we have made that move stick very nicely. And yep, that was a pretty nice overtake if I do say so myself, and we're going to continue on towards the final corner now, and the start of lap number 2. Casey Legend also got past Sinan there, so yeah, his race pace was actually really good. He'd been pretty sweaty for this one, so I was very surprised that he didn't actually get ahead of me in qualifying, considering I'd literally had 40 minutes of practice, plus the practice session itself. So yeah, we're coming on the back of Camendo now as we're going to head into the chicane, but we're not going to be able to pass him yet. Purple sector 1, but is quickly boosted by Casey. Can we get past Camendo on the straight? I think we should be able to if we can get a good exit, and with the slipstream as well as our better performance under braking. So coming off the hairpin now, getting in the slipstream of the Williams. He's a reserve, so he's not really in the Williams, but he's in the Williams for this race. So getting in the slipstream, and we're going to go side by side with him as we head into this chicane, and it should be an easy move. Can we get the job done? Camendo still trying to hang it around the outside, but we should be able to get it done around the outside the second part, and indeed we do. He has to back out there, and it's going to allow Casey to get through as well. I'm going to give Casey the slipstream to get him past Camendo, but now Casey's got too much of a slipstream. He's going to try and go past us as we head into the chicane here, but we're going to defend the inside nicely and take the position there, which is decent defending if I do say so myself. But obviously as a result of this, Luke and Cupid have decided that they don't want to be seeing anyone for the rest of the race, and they've been jogged on up the road. So getting on to lap 3 now at the end of the first straight, and we're still defending from Casey. He's not close enough on the first straight, obviously DRS now active, but due to the double DRS he will be close enough on the second straight, which means it's very difficult for me to pull away from him. But yeah, we're going to see if he can get the move done. We're going to go defensive once again, just like last lap, although this time he's going to be closer, so we're going to have to fight this a bit harder. We've nailed the curb there, and we've run it out wide to block his line off, and he is forced to back out there. So yeah, coming into the final sector now, and we've held that position for yet another lap now. Lap 4, Casey's pace was actually better than ours at the moment, so we're going to have to fight this very hard if we want to keep him behind. He's going to have a look up the inside into the first chicane, but I'm not going to have any of that. I'm going to boss him around the outside and force him out. Hopefully, no, he's still managed to get the switch back, so he's going to have another chance into the chicane. Now Sinan has arrived on the scene as well, and he might be having a go as well into the chicane, so this is going to be a very difficult situation for me. Sinan decides to hang back. We're going to go side by side with Casey in this point. I tell him to have the position in the party. There's no point fighting, and I'm going to hope that he can drag me along as we almost hit him through the third part of that chicane there. So yeah, can Casey drag us along? Not really. Our pace isn't particularly good, and as we skip to lap 5, we're out of... Oh no, we are within Casey's DRS, but we weren't really within a second as we look up into the chicane, and Sinan is our main issue, and we're going to be looking at losing P4 if we aren't careful. I don't think we've got DRS for the second straight, which is going to mean we're under serious pressure, and indeed we don't. So we're going to be under serious pressure from the Manor driver as we head into the triple chicane. Can we hold it under brakes? We're going to try and do so, but I don't think we're going to be able to, and we're going to have to back out of that one, because otherwise he would chop our nose off and there would be a crash. So yeah, we've lost 2 positions in 2 laps then, which is not ideal, and we've now got Swagrid or Cyril Verline behind us. So yeah, not ideal, but I think our pace is pretty similar to Sinan, and we've now got a virtual safety car because Warden has retired from the race, which means there's an opportunity for people to pit, but I don't think I'm going to take it. I think it's too early for someone to come into the pit lane at this point, so I'm going to stay out and see if anyone else comes into the pit lane. I don't think anyone will. I'm going to stay out, because if you do come in, I don't think you can do another Superstore stint. Sinan decides to come in, which is going to benefit him in the short term, but I think in the long term it's not going to be ideal for him, as we now skip to the end of the virtual safety car coming through the chicane. We've absolutely nailed that, and we've dropped Sierra Verline by quite a bit, as well as closing up to Casey Legend there. So yeah, hopefully we won't be under threat from Verline in the DRS zone, as we now skip ahead to the end of lap 6, and Sierra Verline has actually just crashed out in the race behind us. I'm not particularly sure how he managed that, but he has. And yeah, so we're now down to 10 runners, unfortunately, but this is the last race we should have with a depleted grid, as we now do have a full 22 drivers for lap number for season 5. And it's coming into lap 8 there, we've absolutely bottled the pit entry. We've almost cut the corner and be forced to continue on, but luckily we did manage to keep it within the pit line, sort of, not really, but yeah, we lost a bit of time for that, as we can see Casey Legend coming out the pit lane, and Sinan has already gone past at this point. Oh, that's not Casey Legend, sorry, that's Luke. Sinan has already gone past at this point, so That's just how much he's gained by pitting under the virtual safety car. But obviously at the end of this stint, he's pitted 3 laps earlier than us, so his tyres will be absolutely dead as we head out of the pit lane now, getting a bit of a tank slapper on there. We managed to save it as we head down towards turn number 4. And as you can see, we're currently in P8 as we skip to the end of lap 9, and we're just coming, and we have another virtual safety car, not particularly sure what this one was for. I think it was a delayed one for Fairline's crash, and this has absolutely screwed me and Luke over. Shock once again, because Casey Legend's in the pit lane, and he's going to be able to benefit from this virtual safety car. Literally everyone, apart from I think Sam, has benefited from this virtual safety car. We've got Gorsh in the pit lane, and we're up to P7 at the moment. So yep, skipping to the end of the virtual safety car, can we get this one nailed? And at this point, I'm hearing in the game, in the party chat rather, the Silent Mole has got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. So that's very unfortunate for him, but that's going to be a free position for us. And as we skip to the end of lap 10, Sam is in the pit lane after a reasonably long super soft stint, as well as Cupid, but he's a bit further ahead at this point. So yeah, Sam trying to do a different strategy to what most people are doing, as we now head on to lap number 12, and the Silent Mole is in the pit lane now for his drive-through penalty, as well as Camundo, who I think is trying to exercise a one-stop here, a very risky strategy, and I'll be surprised if he's able to pull it off without getting a puncture as we get a bit of oversteer on the exit of turn 1 there. But yeah, we're up to 4th for the moment, but we're quite far behind Sinan. We'll be able to see the gap in a minute when we come to the sector split, and coming to the first sector split now. What is the gap? The gap is 4 seconds, so that's not too big a gap, but we're going to have to close that. And as we skip to lap number 13, just later on, we've bottled that corner. We've run a bit wide on the AstroTurf there, just showing how difficult that corner is. So yeah, skipping to the end of lap 16, we've caught up to Sinan in about 3.5 laps, which is pretty impressive. And the gap is now half a second, having been 4 seconds 3.5 laps ago. So we've done quite a good job there to close him down, and his tyres are now really starting to fall off the cliff due to the fact that he pitted 3 laps earlier than us, and I suspect he'll be coming into the pit lane very soon as we come towards the end of sector 1. We'll be definitely well within the DRS zone, and we should be able to get past him reasonably easy due to the much better tyre condition. So he's taken a compromise line into the hairpin. We're going to try and open it up to its entirety. We haven't got the greatest exit, but we will now have the slipstream and the DRS as we head down the first DRS straight. The lights are starting to come on now, the floodlights that is, as the sun is setting on this race and this season, as we've now gone past Sinan into the first chicane. Will he be able to get us back on the exit? I don't think so. I think his tyres are spent now, and as you can see, he has no response there, and we are up into P3 for the moment, which is effectively a net P3. Well, it's a net P4 because Camundo's only doing 1 stop, but I think we should have the pace to close him down in the last stint as we come towards the triple chicane now. Nailing that quite nicely as we get a bit of oversteer on the exit. And yep, Sinan should be coming into the pits at the end of this lap, I would have thought. As you can see, he's dropped back quite a lot just in a few corners after we passed him, so his tyres are absolutely dead as we now bottle this corner, once again making a mistake under braking, and that's allowed Sinan to catch up a little bit. As you can see, his proximity are now reappearing, and teammate is in the pit, so Cupid has done a very short stint on the softs there, having pitted on lap 10. As we now come round the final corner, and we've cut that. We've got a warning, and we've spun out the final corner. Sinan's in the pits. We're going to have to select reverse and get this turned around as quickly as possible, and we have lost a lot of time there. Camundo goes past as we head across the line to start lap 18, and now we disconnected. Disaster. And yeah, that was a really legit disconnection, wasn't it? Because I was still in the party, so this game is absolutely crap. So yeah, we're now awaiting an invite, and luckily skipping to the end of the next lap, the game has decided to bring me into the pits after the Silent Mole has invited me, hopefully for a set of super softs that we can take to the end of the race as we pull into the pits now. Unfortunately, you can't take control of your AI in the pit lane, so we're going to have a look at the race director and see what penalties people have. So we're going to have a look at Lion. Lion has 1 penalty, but yeah, we've lost a lot of time on that lap. I'd say we lost around 8 seconds as we're now coming out of the pit lane, and as you can see, the game has put softs on. Good game. So yeah, now we have softs on, which means I'm absolutely raging as the Silent Mole sets the fastest lap of the race. We're also in 8th place, which is even better, but yeah, we're not on the tyres that I wanted to be on, and we're also well down the field after that disconnection, but we're going to give it our best shot as we have now worked out that you can actually drive your car. As you can see, I'm spamming the look behind button in anger as we head into the hairpin now, and it's given us control at a really crap pace, and we've literally drifted through the hairpin. But yeah, not ideal there as we come towards the end of lap 19 here. Yep, someone is in the pit lane, Gorsh Crab, and we're up into P7. But most people still have to stop. I don't think we'll be able to catch Sinan, to be honest, but we'll give it a go. But lots of people still have to stop as we skip to the end of lap 20. I think Rompierre Lion is in the pit lane, which is going to progress to position 6 as we set personal best. And Sinan is the next car ahead of us at this point. But yeah, we want to be higher than P6, and at the end of lap 21, Sam is in the pit lane, who's done a pretty impressive strategy of super soft, ultra soft, as we're now coming to start this lap. As you can see, up into P5, which is reasonably good, but I think we would be fighting for a podium without that disconnection, most certainly, as we now head through turn 3. We're going to have a look at what the gap is to Sinan. Obviously, we don't have any penalties at this point, so I don't think we'll beat him on track, but if he has penalties, we do have a chance. As you can see, the gap is 11.7 seconds, so I don't think we have that much pace over him, but if we can get it within 9 seconds, we can maybe hope. As we skip to the end of lap 27, what is the gap? And the gap is 8.5 seconds, so we have closed it by 3 seconds in around 5 laps, which is a good effort, but I can inform you that he only has 2 penalties, so it's not going to be enough. Now, skipping for the rest of lap number 28, we're just going to show you the remainder of my season. Silent Mole has left the session. He's off to play Rocket League after a disastrous race. But yeah, I'm just going to show you the final sector of my season. Not my last sector in the Haas, because I like the car enough that I'm going to be driving it next season. We're still closing on Sinan, and we're coming through this chicane. We've done a massive drift there. Not ideal. I absolutely killed these tyres just in anger after the disconnection, and the fact that I knew I could push them due to the fact that they weren't the super soft, which I'd have to be a bit conservative on. So, Casey Legend has won the race, but it's not enough to win the championship. Cupid is going to win that by 2 points. So yeah, Cupid did deserve to be champion, to be honest, because obviously he was much quicker, but for the people in the league, they were all supporting Casey, really. As we head around the final corner for the final time, we're not going to crash like we did last season. That was quite embarrassing. We come across the line for 5th place. We've got the gap down to 8.2, as we're now going to see some donuts from CK the Flying Scot. We've had a dismal race after getting taken out by Gorsh Crab on lap 1. So yeah, here's some donuts to end off the season, and yeah, it's not been the greatest season for me overall, due to disconnections, which, in my opinion, robbed me the chance to have a go at a championship. But yeah, whatever, you can't get them all in league racing, and hopefully I'll have some better luck next season, and hopefully CK can actually cross the line now, because his donuts are getting a bit boring. But yeah, as he's crashed into the wall. But this is what I want to highlight. He's crashed into the wall about 4 times on simulation damage. He has got a rear puncture, but he's hit that wall pretty hard and he hasn't destroyed his car. So this game has pretty awful consistency compared to the last game. But yeah, that's been it for today, guys. As you can see the results on screen, Casey Legend taking the victory there. Camendo doing an impressive 1 stop to 2nd, which meant he won most notable performance for this week. Sinan got promoted to 3rd, myself promoted to 4th, and Sam promoted to 5th, because Cupid actually received a 10-second penalty as a result of the Mexico instance. It would have been a quali ban, but he didn't send in the footage in time, so he decided to apply a 10-second post-race penalty, which dropped him from 3rd down to 6th. So yeah, we got promoted to 4th, but we still managed to beat Sinan in the championship there. Casey Legend was unable to win the championship, just missing out by 2 points as mentioned earlier. I'll leave a link to all the standings, the Google Sheet, in the description, so you can have a look at that if you want. But yeah, that's been it for this race, and indeed this season, guys. I will see you very soon for what is the pre-season race of Season 5. I believe we're at Germany for that, so that should be quite fun. And yeah, on request of Sinan, I'm going to end this video and this season with a picture of a horse. So there you go, that is lovely. Thanks for watching, goodbye.